So in the last video we saw how to store data into the Firestore database. Each time someone was signing up, we created a new collection in Firestore called user profile and we were storing their information there. It's time now to render our contact list. A contact list will be there in the sidebar that you can click on and chat with your contacts. Starting with a script, in our chat.vue, and then we import collection. So basically we want to get all of the contacts from Firestore. So we import collection get docs from Firebase/Firestore. And then const query is equal to, we write a query. So this is going to be asynchronous, so we might need it in a function. So we import ref from Vue const users, we import a ref array, and then on mounted gets called when the component is mounted on the DOM. So on mounted we make it async because we want to make a server call. So const query is equal to await get docs. This is all Firestore syntax, collection, db, and the name of our collection, which is users, and then we get data from this query. Query.forEach, we iterate over each row to get the user. And then user dot push id, we get, so the query gives us id and data, so user dot id gives us the id and user dot data gives us the rest of the data that is there in our document in the collection. And now we will render the users in our template to see if we got the value. Yup, I'm fixing, because this is a ref, we need to do users dot value. db is not defined, so we need to import db on the top. So import db from Firebase. So we had a utility for Firebase, we import it from there, and yes, we got the data. So we had 3 users and we are getting 3 objects here, one for each user that we created. And now let us render the contact list. So we make a div, and then, so on one side of the page I need there to be the sidebar with all the context on the left side, and on the right side of the page I want the actual chat to display, just like how WhatsApp and Telegram interface looks like on a browser. So we create a grid I want a grid with 2 columns, so grid calls to all of this is, so we are trying a percentage here, 30% for the left side, 70% for the right side. All of these are Tailwind classes, and then we have 2 children, one for each column that we are going to render. So the first will be the sidebar and the second would be the chat interface. Let us start with the sidebar. We got a list of contacts and now we want to display them in the sidebar here. So div v for user dot, we iterate over the users. Because we're in template, we don't have to do users.value here. We only have to do that in the script. In our template, we can directly access refs without doing .value. So this will give us the first name and then the email. We have 2 information right now. And yeah, I can see them here now. So maybe let's get rid of the email and instead let's show an avatar with the first letter of the full name. So I render user.fullname, but I need the first letter out of it. So I split it and then I only get the first letter. Yes, so that's working. And now I want to make this appear like an avatar. Because we don't have the profile images of these contacts, we'll have to do with the first name. So I'm trying to give it a padding and rounded full to make a circle appear around it, and then I give it some border. It's taking the entire width of the screen and I don't want that. So to stop that from happening, we add flex to the parent, which makes them appear side by side. And then so we come back to our template and we give it a size 4. That's some reason, yeah. So we've made it bigger than what it was. And then we want to get the alphabet right in the center. So let's play with the padding. Let us see what's happening down here. So our padding is not getting applied for some reason. We have all the divs rendered, but the padding is not taking an effect. Let's try with size again. So it did increase the size, but the padding is still not taking effect because our alphabets are still at the corner. Let us try making it flex center, item center, justify center. Okay, it worked. And then to the parent, item center, so the alphabet aligns with the name. It does now. And then we need a nav bar here. So we give a nav bar with web chat as the name and some styling because it's going to be the header of this page. So we bring it to the center and then we give some padding to the top and bottom. Increase the font weight, font medium. Let's increase it even further. Font semi-bold. Let us also give it a shadow. Yes, so now I know that this is separate from the rest of the page. And now to the entire page some padding. Again, the padding is not taking any effect here. I think this is probably because of the library that we added. It is enforcing 0 padding and 0 margins to all of the elements. Let's try with important. Okay, with important it worked. I think there is no way to get rid of it, so we will have to continue with important. Let's continue again. So I want some distance between each contact list. So we use space Y5. It is again not taking any effect. I think this is again because we'll have to make it important too, because paddings and margins are getting overridden with the library that we use, the component library. Yeah, so Vuetify is the culprit here. So let's have some distance between the profile and the name. So space x2 adds horizontal space between the elements, between the children's of this parent. And now I want to give some color to the avatar, so we create a function get color. We pass in the name and we want the color to be derived based on the name. So const char code, we extract the char code from the name dot char at char code at, and we get the first letter. So we want the char code of the first letter and then we derive a hue out of it. So const hue is equal to char code mod 360 const saturation is equal to 250 25 plus char code mod 75, and lightness is equal to 75 plus char code mod 25, and then return HSL hue saturation and lightness. Style, and we now call the function here to apply. background get color, and then we pass user dot full name. Yeah, so it gave some color. So we are changing the name to get background color, and we will create another function to get the color of the letter. So that we are going to name as get text color, and we are going to make some variations to this function itself so that we get a background, a text color that is very similar to the background color. So color get text color, and again we pass user dot full name. Okay, so it did work, but it is very light, and in some cases we are unable to understand the text on top of it. We're adjusting the distance between the list elements, and then we are adjusting the columns of the grid because they're not taking effect. Instead, let's make it just grid 2. Yeah, now we have two clear different grids. Maybe let's replace grids with flex. So we have one flex row with 2 children's, that is our 2 columns, and we give the chat interface flex 1 because we want that to have the bigger width. So let's give it a border, the sidebar. And let's make the border color lighter, so border gray 1. Border trying to reduce the padding. So yeah, we introduced a padding right of 5. Reduced the margin from the top and introduced a padding, and now we want a height for this sidebar so that it takes up the entire height of the screen. So we are calculating the height that exempts the navbar from the top. So we calculate 100% minus 2 rem, which is the height of the navbar, and we do it 100 viewport, and still not having the same effect. We do it 3.2 rem. No, again it's not taking up the entire height. We remove item center, and yeah, it worked. So now it's taking up the entire height of the screen except the navbar, which is how we wanted our sidebar to look. Border 100 should be the right class, so border gray 100. Yeah, it lightened the border. Let's make it 300. a little better. Let's adjust the padding on each side of the sidebar. This is too much. We should probably reduce it. 24. We give the padding to the right side so that our labels stick to the left. And divide y is a good class that adds some rulers between the children of its parent, but the margins are causing, the paddings are causing a problem, so we adjust that. Yeah, this is better, but the border of divide y is very dark. We want to make it lighter, so we do divide gray 300. This gives a color to the border added by divide y. This looks cool, but there is a problem here with the padding on top and padding on bottom, so some margin is getting applied, which is making all of this look very uneven. And we need to get rid of it. So the space y is what's causing the problem. Yeah, if we remove that, looks better. Let us adjust the colors. We've made the colors 200. So we need something to track the current chat, which means that which chat are we on currently. So whenever I click on the chat, that chat becomes active, and I should know that this is the active chat, and I should show messages of that. So first we need an empty state when no chat is selected. So we add divs. One would be if current chat is set, and the other would be visible if current chat is not set. If current chat is not set, we show select a chat to start messaging, and yeah, that is what we can see. Let us style this. So we add class flex to make it in a row, and item center and justify center to make it appear on the center of the page. So item center worked, justify center did not work because it's still not vertically on the center of the page. So we increase the height to make it height full, and yeah, now it's on the center of the page. Let us adjust the text. So text gray 700 makes it a little lighter, and text SM to make the size smaller. Let us adjust the color even more. Yeah, that's better. So that is all for this video. Now that we have our chat list ready, in the next video we will see how to get messages from Firestore.